I'm 79 years old. I say that slowly now because it sounds heavier than it used to. 79. When I was younger, that age belonged to other people. Old men on park benches, faces in photographs. Now it's me, sitting in a quiet room, listening to the refrigerator hum like it's the only thing still committed to staying alive. I didn't wake up one morning with a revelation about fulfillment. There was no lightning bolt, no sentence that suddenly made everything clear. What I discovered came the way most truths do at the end of life, late, quietly, and without asking my permission. Most people don't die unfulfilled because their lives fall apart. They die unfulfilled because their lives mostly work. That's the part no one talks about. I spend a lot of time alone now, not in a tragic way, just in the way that happens when your calendar empties faster than you expected. I sit in the same chair every morning. The cushion knows my shape. I look out the window and watch people go to work, walk dogs, argue softly on the sidewalk. I wonder which version of myself they're postponing today. My body moves slower, but my mind doesn't. If anything, it's louder. It keeps returning to the same question over and over, like it's checking to see if the answer has changed. How did a life this full end up feeling incomplete? I grew up believing that fulfillment was something you arrived at, like a destination. You worked hard, did the right things, and eventually you were allowed to feel satisfied. That idea shaped everything I did. I was raised by a man who believed duty came before desire. He wasn't cruel, he was tired, he worked long hours, came home quiet, and fell asleep in his chair most nights. I don't remember him ever asking himself what he wanted. I remember him doing what needed to be done. I absorbed that without realizing it. When I was young, I had interests that didn't make sense on paper. Writing, long walks with no purpose, sitting and thinking. I liked conversations that drifted instead of landed. None of that seemed useful. None of it felt responsible. So when adulthood arrived, I folded those things up and told myself I'd keep them safe for later. Later became my favorite word. In my 20s, life felt like a beginning. I got married young. She had a laugh that filled rooms and a patience I didn't deserve. I remember thinking I was lucky, but also feeling a strange pressure to prove myself worthy of that luck. I took the job that offered stability, not curiosity. It paid enough. It sounded respectable when people asked what I did. That mattered to me more than I admitted. I told myself it was temporary, just until we were settled. We're always just until something. My 30s arrived like a flood, children, bills, promotions, responsibilities stacking so neatly that I never questioned why I was so tired all the time. I mistook exhaustion for purpose. People complimented me for being dependable, for sacrificing, for putting my family first. I wore those compliments like armor. They protected me from having to ask harder questions. What I didn't realize was that I was also sacrificing myself quietly in ways no one could see. I didn't stop loving my family. I just stopped showing up fully. I was there, but distracted, present, but preoccupied. I lived most of my days half ahead of myself, thinking about what needed to be done next instead of where I was standing. I missed small things, not the kind you can apologize for later. The kind that vanish the moment they pass. My kids used to ask me to play. Sometimes I did. Often I said, after this. They learned quickly what that meant. Children are smarter than we think. They adjust their expectations without making a fuss. My wife and I used to talk late into the night about nothing, about everything. Over time, those conversations got replaced with logistics, schedules, to-do lists. We became efficient. That felt like progress. I didn't notice when intimacy turned into coordination. There was no dramatic collapse, no moment where I could point and say, that's where it went wrong. That's what makes it so hard to accept now. Everything looked fine from the outside. Inside, something was waiting for quiet, waiting for space, waiting for a version of life where I could finally breathe without checking the clock. I told myself that version would arrive once things slowed down. They never did. My 40s were about momentum. Once you're moving fast enough, stopping feels dangerous. I said yes to things automatically. I said no to myself without thinking. There were moments, small, fleeting moments, when I felt a tug, a reminder, sitting in my car before work, engine running, wondering how I'd ended up here. Standing in the shower longer than necessary because it was the only place no one needed anything from me. I ignored those moments. I called them weakness or boredom or midlife nonsense. I was wrong. They were honesty trying to get my attention. By my 50s, I had achieved most of what I set out to achieve. On paper, my life made sense. The house, the career, the respect. People asked me for advice. That should have felt good. Instead, it felt like being asked directions to a place I had never actually been. My kids left home, one by one, quietly, no ceremony, just fewer shoes by the door, fewer voices at dinner. I told myself that was success. That meant we had done our job, but the house felt larger than it used to, and emptier in a way I hadn't prepared for. My wife and I tried to reconnect. We went on trips, ate at nicer restaurants. But there was a carefulness between us now. Years of postponed conversations had built a wall we didn't know how to climb. We loved each other. That wasn't the problem. We just didn't know each other anymore. Then she got sick. It wasn't dramatic at first. Fatigue, appointments, words like monitor and wait and see. I kept thinking we had time to talk, time to fix things, time to say what we hadn't said. Time is a strange thing. It feels abundant right up until it isn't. Her illness progressed faster than either of us expected. I sat beside her hospital bed, holding her hand, thinking about all the evenings I had spent at work instead of at home, all the conversations I had postponed because I was tired. She didn't accuse me of anything. That almost made it worse. When she died, the world didn't end. That's another thing people don't tell you. It just kept going without her in it. I learned how loud silence can be. In my 60s, retirement arrived like a question I didn't know how to answer. Everyone told me to enjoy it, to relax, to finally do what I wanted. The problem was, I no longer knew what that was. I tried to fill my days, hobbies, volunteering, projects, but everything felt slightly off, like I was wearing someone else's clothes. I realized then that fulfillment isn't something you can postpone without consequences. If you wait too long, you forget how to recognize it when it shows up. Friends drifted away, not because of conflict, because of inertia. Our relationships had been built around work. Without it, there was nothing holding us in the same room. Loneliness doesn't arrive all at once. It trickles in. An unanswered phone call here, a canceled plan there, until one day you realize you haven't had a meaningful conversation in weeks. I aged faster after that, not physically, spiritually. The stroke happened when I was 76. Minor, they said. I recovered quickly. But something shifted. I couldn't move through my days on autopilot anymore. I had to slow down. Slowing down forces you to notice things. Lying in that hospital bed, staring at the ceiling, I wasn't afraid of dying. I was afraid of having lived my entire life as a rehearsal. I thought about all the times I had chosen productivity over presence, approval over honesty, later over now. That's when it finally became clear. Most people die unfulfilled because they assume fulfillment will wait. They assume there will be a better time, a quieter season, a future version of themselves with more energy, more courage, more clarity. That version rarely shows up. Life doesn't hand you fulfillment as a reward for endurance. It asks you to participate while things are still messy. I see it now everywhere, in the way people rush through conversations, in the way they delay joy until conditions improve, in the way they confuse being busy with being alive. At 79, my days are simple, painfully simple. I wake up, I make coffee, I sit, I write a little, I rest, I remember. Memory is both a gift and a punishment at this age. It shows you exactly what mattered long after you had the chance to treat it that way. There are things I can't fix, apologies I can't deliver, moments I can't relive. That's the truth I wish more people understood earlier. Regret isn't about doing the wrong thing. It's about doing the right things for the wrong reasons for too long. If you're listening to this, I won't tell you how to live. I don't trust advice anymore. Life is too personal for that. I'll just say this. Pay attention to what you keep postponing. Pay attention to what only matters now, because one day, now will be gone. And all you'll have left is a quiet room, a good memory, and the uncomfortable clarity of understanding too late why fulfillment never arrived. I'm not bitter, I'm not angry, I'm honest. And honesty at 79 is all I have left. If this meant something to you, hold it gently. Do something small today that doesn't make sense on paper, but feels like truth in your body. As for me, I'll keep sitting here, watching the light move across the floor, making peace with what was lived and what waited too long. That's how most lives end, not with failure, with delay.